Today we're getting into something really critical for any business.
We are. We've got a whole stack of material here that really zeroes in on one big idea.
A huge strategic difference, really, between marketing that works for a week and marketing that builds a brand for a lifetime.
Exactly. We're talking about the difference between marketing for a purchase versus marketing for an identity.
Welcome to your marketing department, where we share the best tips for marketing your small business. And the full link to this topic is down in the description. Be sure to subscribe so that you never miss our latest update.
And a lot of our source material for this comes from Unscrewed Marketing and the work of Vicky Wu.
Right, and the mission for this deep dive is to understand how you forge that unshakable loyalty.
Because it's not about a better checkout button.
No, not at all. It's about inviting customers to be something, not just to buy something.
You know, when you look at most businesses, especially the ones that are struggling to grow, they're just pouring all their energy into what we're calling the buy approach.
Right. Tweaking the funnels, running A/B tests on discount codes, polishing product descriptions.
It's all about the transaction. But the most successful brands, the ones that last, they build this almost tribal relationship.
Yeah, where the customer sees the brand as part of who they are. That's the B approach.
And that is a huge implication for you, the listener.
It's immediate. I mean, think about it. If a brand is tied to how you see yourself,
Who you are,
then the decision to buy just stops being rational. It moves out of the spreadsheet and into your gut.
It's emotional. It's tribal.
And that connection completely short-circuits the normal comparison shopping. You're not weighing features against a competitor anymore.
You're just affirming an identity you already have.
Exactly. And that distinction, rational versus identity, that's where we really need to start.
The sources give us a really clear breakdown of these two psychological modes, buy mode and B mode.
So in buy mode, your brain is it's all logic. It's transactional.
You're comparing features, looking for the best deal.
Calculating savings, trying to find a logical reason to buy. It's a decision that comes from the head. All about immediate utility.
But B mode, that's a completely different engine.
Completely. This is emotional. It's driven by aspiration, by this need to belong, by your own self-image.
This is the psychology that doesn't just sell a t-shirt. It fuels movements. It creates that kind of loyalty that can survive anything.
And the source material has this fantastic example from Vicky Wu's work in the nonprofit sector that shows just how powerful this shift is financially.
Right. So when asking for donations, the old way was very logical, very buy mode.
It focused on where the money goes.
So something like donate $50 to feed 5 people. Very transactional.
Exactly. But she realized that people choose to give with their heart. That's the emotional B state. And then they look for the facts to justify it with their head later on.
So the shift was to stop talking about the meal being bought.
And start focusing entirely on the identity of the person giving.
So what did that new language actually sound like? What was the change that got that tenfold increase?
Well, it moved from help us solve this problem to something like be the kind of person who stands up for this cause.
So you're inviting the donor to be a champion, a leader.
Yes, you invite them into an identity. And that creates this emotional hook first. The transaction just becomes a way to affirm their own values.
And the result was not just more money, but more committed, recurring donors.
Because the act of giving was reinforcing who they believed they were.
That language difference is just...
Yeah.
It's everything. If I say buy this marketing course, I'm just listing features.
You're asking for a credit card number.
But if I say be the kind of entrepreneur who leads with strategy, well, now I'm connecting the purchase to a future better version of you.
The course isn't a product anymore. It's the tool to get you to that transformation.
And this isn't just psychology, is it? This is becoming a survival tactic in the current digital world.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, with AI driving search now, that generic buy now content, it's becoming invisible.
So how does that work? Why would an algorithm prefer B content?
Well, because AI is trained on human behavior, right?
Yeah.
And that includes markers for emotional intelligence. A list of product features that has a really short shelf life. You read it, maybe you buy, and then it's gone, forgotten.
But identity-driven content.
Yeah.
The stuff about shared values, inspiration, belonging.
That's the content that gets shared. It gets quoted, it gets referenced in other articles. It resonates on a human level.
I see. So the algorithm isn't just rewarding a quick click. It's rewarding long-term resonance, authority.
Precisely. Content that builds trust and emotion is just seen as higher quality. The AI models pick up on that signal of authority.
So if the B approach is so much more powerful, both psychologically and even, technically with AI.
Yeah.
Why is almost everyone still stuck in buy mode? It seems self-defeating.
It really comes down to one thing,
Mm-hmm.
inertia. And that inertia is rooted in measurement.
Oh, it's safe.
It's safe. The buy approach is easy to quantify. You can run a report on click-through rates, on conversions, and show your boss a clean number for ROI.
And you can't really run a report on belonging.
Exactly. It doesn't fit neatly into an analytics dashboard.
But the irony is that what's easy to measure is often driving the wrong behavior.
Totally. The consequence is that entrepreneurs end up talking about features, what people get, instead of the transformation, who people become.
And when you lead with features, you just attract comparison shoppers.
Which leads to quick wins, sure, but also incredibly fast churn. They buy once, feel no connection, and they're gone as soon as a competitor offers a 10% discount.
Whereas beeline marketing, that creates an emotional lock-in.
It moves someone from being just a buyer to being a believer. And believers don't just buy. They advocate for you. They build the movement with you.
Okay, let's make this really concrete. Let's look at some of those powerhouse brands that just own their markets by selling identity.
We have to start with the Nike, right? Be the athlete.
Of course.
They are selling inner strength. They're selling personal transformation.
Right.
And strategically, their apps, the Run Club, the Training Club, that's the key.
They aren't just tools. They're community hubs.
Yes. They celebrate your milestones. They track your progress. The genius is you're not just buying a shoe for its technical specs.
You are buying into the identity of someone who commits to their fitness. Every workout logged reinforces that self-concept.
And because you're buying who you believe you are, the price becomes so much less important. You'll pay a premium for that alignment.
Okay, another one. What about Starbucks? Be part of a ritual.
People love to complain about the price, but the success has nothing to do with the coffee.
No, it's about selling an identity of, calm productivity. Connection.
And consistency. The strategy is in the physical space, that third place idea, and the loyalty program.
And the name on the cup.
Yeah.
It's all about status and ritual.
It creates a global tribe where people feel like it's their personal space.
Yeah.
This is my Starbucks.
Then you have an even more intense example like Harley Davidson. Be the rebel.
This is maybe the purest example of identity marketing. You're buying freedom, brotherhood, a story.
And the bike is really just a ticket to get in.
It literally is the entry ticket to the Harley Owners Group, the HOG, and that group is the brand's loyalty engine.
And you have to pay to be in it.
You pay to join. It gives you access to rallies, local chapters, patches. It's all about participating in the identity. The source material says this is permanent. You don't just unbecome a rider.
What about a more modern brand? Lululemon, maybe? Be the lifestyle?
Same playbook, just a different identity. It's centered on wellness, on mindfulness.
Right. They speak to the community of doers.
They do it through ambassadors, hosting yoga sessions, run clubs. They physically weave the brand into your self-care routine. The logo itself becomes a badge that says, I'm part of this community.
And this even works for something as abstract as Lego. Be the creator.
They turned plastic bricks into a global movement because they sell imagination.
And their big strategic move was embracing the adult fans.
Through things like the Lego Ideas platform, fans co-create new sets. They vote on them. They feel a sense of ownership.
Which makes them totally immune to cheaper knockoffs.
Because they're not just customers anymore, they're enthusiasts, co-creators.
One last one. The North Face. Be the explorer.
Their whole brand voice is just, we are explorers. It's aspirational.
And their loyalty program, the XPLR Pass, it's not about discounts.
No, it's about access to experiences. Guided expeditions, expert advice. They aren't just selling you a jacket. They're selling you the chance to actually embody that explorer identity.
Okay, so this is where it gets really important for you listening. We know the why and the what. Now, let's get into the how.
The strategic blueprint. How you can actually shift your own brand from buy mode into this much more powerful be mode.
This is the really practical stuff.
5 actionable strategies. So strategy 1, reframe your language. You have to stop talking about the product.
And start inviting the customer into the identity they want.
Exactly. So instead of buyer planner to track deadlines, you say, be the kind of professional who is always calm and on time.
I love that. The audience immediately self-selects. They hear that and think, yes, that's who I want to be.
Right. And that brings us to strategy 2. Anchor your offers in transformation.
So stop selling the package, the list of deliverables.
And focus on the emotional result. People don't want a course. They want to become more confident. They don't want software. They want to become more capable. Speaking to what they become makes the offer magnetic.
But I can hear some people thinking, this sounds great, but how do I build belonging in a way that feels real?
And that's strategy 3. Build community touch points. And they don't have to be massive. Create small, specific rituals.
What's an example?
For a skincare brand, maybe you celebrate your glow-getters by featuring their stories. For a B2B company, it could be an exclusive client roundtable just for sharing wins. The point is, people prioritize belonging over perks.
So give them a space to be seen in their new identity.
Exactly. And then strategy 4 is where it all comes together. Use your calls to action as identity triggers.
So get rid of sign up or add to cart.
Please, those are so generic. The button you click should feel like a commitment to yourself, not to your checkout page.
So instead of download the guide,
Try commit to clarity. Instead of start trial, use step into your next level. The language should affirm their aspiration.
okay, and the last one.
Strategy 5. Highlight your audience's future self. Your entire brand promise has to paint a clear picture of who the customer is becoming.
You're not buying project management software.
You're becoming the kind of business that runs smoothly, free from chaos. That future identity is the product.
When you put all this together correctly, the outcome is, well, it's transformative for the whole business.
Absolutely. Because your clients start to self-select. The conversation stops being about how much is it, and it becomes about this feels like me.
And they don't just buy once, they stay. They refer people.
They defend your brand in public because defending your brand means defending their own identity choice.
And the business benefits are huge. Price resistance drops, word of mouth becomes your main channel.
And as we talked about, your search visibility actually improves because content with real emotional intelligence gets prioritized. And remember, this whole strategy is basically taking what works at the Fortune 500 level and making it efficient enough for entrepreneurs.
That really is the final takeaway, isn't it? It's the difference between a decision that just, it fades as soon as you open the box, and a decision to be something. A decision that becomes a permanent part of who your customer is.
Which leaves a really important question for you to think about. If your goal is permanence, if it's loyalty and pricing power,
Then what?
then how are you measuring the emotional value you're delivering? Not just the dollars and cents, but the emotional return on investment for your audience.
Something to think about this week.
Most entrepreneurs keep guessing. My clients, they get clarity and results. The Unscrewed Room is where serious entrepreneurs go when they're done chasing shiny tactics and are ready to grow smarter. If that sounds like you, the waitlist for the Unscrewed Room is open. Visit unscrewedmarketing.com now to check it out. You don't need another course. You need a strategy that works.